Here we go. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Dano.
How's life, man?
A roller coaster.
Uh,
For
well,
the most part. I don't know. How about you?
it's the same. Exhausted.
Yeah,
Yep,
good.
that's good. So how'd your roller coaster of a life start?
Roller coaster. Well, life not such a roller coaster. Business, a little bit of roller coaster. Uh, life. I was conceived. Not sure when, but no, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. I live in Madison Lake, Minnesota, just west of or east of Mankato. My wife and my 4 boys live out there, and we started the gym about 2012, and yeah, there's so many things in between there. Ton of stuff.
What got you started in wanting to be an entrepreneur and business owner?
I didn't want to be one.
Okay, well, that helps.
That's pretty funny, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I was probably a sophomore in high school. I was a big kid, and decided I wanted a girlfriend, so I started lifting weights. Lost a bunch of weight. A few things fell into place for me, and then got to wrestle in college. And then when I was wrestling in college is when this whole thing kind of came to be. Actually, I decided that I wanted to be a trainer, and I wanted to help people. And back then it was, I want to help people get big, jacked, tan. Now I like helping moms lose 15, 20 pounds, feel like rock stars again. That's kind of, that I've noticed the older I get, the more my focus shifts to people in my area, I guess you could say. So like mom and dads, somewhere between like 30 and 50, 60, somewhere in there, are kind of that's where I spend most of my time anyways. So, okay, so back up. I was at Snap Fitness out of college, and had a pretty successful career started there. I worked for Snap Fitness corporate, and won some awards, and decided I was going to go off on my own because I knew more. And here we are, all these years later. And about like I said, 2012, we opened up here in Kato CrossFit, and from there, it's just been, Dano, you know this as well as anybody. This has been a learning curve of game day, learning curve of Yacked, CrossFit with Sika. I've had a bunch of different things going on at one time. But now currently I'm down to just the one. We're just helping make people fit. And long story in a short sentence. How about that?
I mean, that's fine because of all the technical difficulties we had in the beginning. You have like 15 minutes left.
Really?
No.
Oh, so I'll make it snappy.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So I talked about this with somebody else on a different podcast that kind of goes to your point that you like to help mom and dads now. Like it is super fun to like get people jacked and ripped, but like when you realize like you can only help so many kids get jacked and ripped, but there's way more people out there that could use our help, maybe losing 15 pounds and just be healthier.
Right. And then they're back on top, and all of a sudden you're changing a life. You know what I mean? Like they lost 20 pounds and they feel like a new human, and everything starts coming back. Their energy starts coming back. They're sleeping better. The relationship with the spouse is better. I mean, just think about how many, like I think about marriages alone, of how many marriages are better because of what we're doing. That alone, I'm like, yeah, that's worth it. Or moms and dads that get to play with kids now because they lost some weight or feel better or whatever it might be.
Yeah. And like when I was in Florida before I got to come coach for you, like most of the people in Florida are either college age kids just wanting to meet girls, or people that want to play with their grandkids.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I don't care how much weight's on the bar. I just want to know I can pick my grandkid up tomorrow.
Right. For sure. Yeah. And that's, I think as a whole, CrossFit has been moving that direction for a while. I think just fitness in general, obviously, but I've been joking for years. I said, listen, competitors are great. I love competitors. They're some of my favorite people, some of my best friends. But at the end of the day, moms are what keep your lights on. You know what I mean? There's way more of them, and they'll keep coming. Retention is higher. Um, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that comes along with that. That's my point of view. But
Where'd you get this? I saw this video that you posted. So I moved there 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, almost. And
Dano's a freak. Dano's a freak about dates. He knows all the dates.
they're on my arm. You posted this video on Facebook of you just not saying a word and just tipping card after card after card
Oh yeah,
over.
that's a long one.
And I think that was one of the first videos I saw after I was told that I needed to call you to get a job. What
Yeah.
made you think of that idea? And it resonated with everyone, because as soon as like I got there, like the gym was full of people other than you
Yeah.
sitting on the box shirtless. But
Yeah. That's when I was nice and skinny. I could take my shirt off then. I got that COVID-19 going on right now. The that video, honestly, I stole. First of all, somebody else did it. But I I just posted my story basically. You know, I said, "Hey, here I am," and I didn't say a single word the whole time. I was just sitting on the floor with my phone in front of me, videoing it. But you're right, dude. That video, I don't think I've ever had a video get that much reaction from. And at I just told my story. That's all. You know, hey, I was a big kid. I get it. I was picked on a ton, and fitness literally changed my path in life, which it has with a ton of people. So I don't know. I stole it.
best way
Don't
to
even
teach
remember from
people.
who.
I don't either. I just saw it and I was like, oh, hey, I'm heading
Yeah.
there next week. That's fun.
A ton of people saw that video. That's probably the best one I've ever had.
Because you
We've
didn't
had a
talk.
couple probably because I didn't talk or show this ugly beard.
I'm surprised you haven't grown it out farther.
I decided I'm not shaving anymore this winter, so I'm gonna be a hairy mess when this thing gets over.
Solid. So 2023, Ben's just gonna be Santa Claus.
No, through the winter. I'm not going to summertime in the heat. Ben, don't mix. Not a fan. Not a fan.
So what makes you continue to stay, like, motivation comes and goes, but like what makes you stay disciplined to continue doing this even through COVID, all the things that gyms had to go through, shutdowns and changing of rules and stuff? Obviously we're not going to talk about like certain things, but what makes you still want to do this?
It's the people. It's always been the people. You know, this has been a journey. There's been people that have come and gone, and it's no particular people. It's just the people that occupy the space, if that makes sense, right? Like, it's not one person or group of people. It's just the continuous different people that are in and out. You get to meet them, and you know, you grow your network. You meet new people, and I love making friends. So I think that's probably the big thing. And I like to be the center of attention, so that's part of it.
Obviously. Everyone knows you want to be the center of attention.
Which is funny because it was never like that until I opened this gym. I wanted nothing to do with the center of attention. And you know, I've always, since we opened, I've had this idea of what I want, and it obviously changes as time progresses, but and the goals change, but like it's always just like, let's strive for this next one. Let's do this. Let's do this. And if you know any history of Kato, I mean, this gym has changed more times than I care to talk about. We've moved 4 times. We've taken down walls. We've put up walls. Currently, we have 24/7 gym on one side and CrossFit on the other, with a couple physical therapists, a couple occupational therapists in house, and a nutrition store in house. So, like, this place is always changing. I love that. I think, too many people get stuck in what was working and are afraid to take the risk to change things up a little bit. And I don't do a good job of calculating risk, or I'm just like, let's do this. Let's try it. If it sucks, we'll change it back, So if you've ever been around this gym, it's changed so many times. I love just evolving. I've had the saying since the day we opened, evolve or die. There's never been a truer statement in 2020. And you have to be able to, and I think CrossFit community did a fantastic job. All the gym owners and employees did a fantastic job of just, okay, this is what we got. We have to turn and pivot. We literally have days to do this. So all hands on deck, let's figure out what we're going to do. And you saw a ton of gyms come together to kind of like game plan and work with each other to just keep moving forward. It's being part of that is what's like, all right, let's keep going. This is a good group of people. Everybody's has different sides, different opinions of what's going on. And as far as, I don't want to talk about that stuff, but I do want to talk about like seeing this community of CrossFit and just different gym owners come together. I don't know how many gym owners, Dano, I talked to in the last year that I normally don't talk to on a daily basis, whether they're CrossFit gyms or just a training gym. Even gyms in my town, like we kind of collaborated a little bit, like, hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are we going to get, keep this thing rolling? And it was super cool to see all those people who are supposed to be competitors, like your competition, kind of come together and overcome this crazy ass time in life. And I don't have to say it. Everybody knows that 2020 was a dumpster fire, and I'm just hoping that this next one's just a little bit easier. I'm good with adversity for a little bit.
Yeah, just a trash can fire.
Yeah, let's get back to normal, kind of.
Just big enough to put Bombay in there, light them on fire, and then call it a day.
It was such a mess.
Tell me about it.
We made it, and so far, and like I said, it's being willing to make adjustments on the fly and not be scared to take the risk of what's going to happen because of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just like I think too many people are stuck in like, hey, this is what's been working. Why would I change it? And I'm like, fuck it, let's change it. I mean, let's try this.
No risk, no reward. So
no risk, no reward, Dano. You know the gig.
Yeah, I drove to Florida because no one would hire me in Wisconsin.
And then you walked in here and I hired you on the spot.
Yeah,
First
and then I
ever had that wasn't part of my community.
Yeah, I didn't know how that would go. I flew up with 80 pounds of clothes and and a book, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was a good time.
So, yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. So what lessons would you want to share with people that you've been able to learn over the last few years or the last year that you think would be helpful to someone that maybe isn't like, or maybe they're just scared to make a change or take a risk? What do you think you could say to help those people right now?
Oh boy. I think a lot of it has to do with personality, really. I have always been a person personally that I've always just said, fuck it, let's try it. What's the worst that can happen? The So if you're kind of on the fence with stuff like that, what it doesn't have to be business, it'd be whatever, like, hey, I want to try, skydiving or whatever it is. Oh, that's a tough question. I think it would probably just for most people, it's going to come down to a pros and cons list. Like, hey, is this right for me? Do the pros outweigh the cons? Because if they do, it's a for sure, like, well, let's do this. If the pros don't outweigh the cons, maybe it's not the best idea. You know what I mean? For me, I've always had people either working for me or in my corner that are like, bring me back to earth. You know what I mean? Like, I've always had like any of my coaching staff, I am constantly coming up with new ideas. I have a whole damn whiteboard full of ideas. And will some of them ever get touched? Probably not. But I always have like a GM, or I always have a friend or my wife or whoever that's like, dude, that's probably not a good call. That's really dumb. We shouldn't do that. And I think maybe just having people be a little bit like finding that person or those people that can kind of, rein you back if need be, or be like, yeah, dude, you should do that. Like, you should definitely try that. I think back probably, the biggest risk I've ever taken. I emptied everything out: 401ks, savings accounts, sold shit, borrowed money, started a gym. Nobody in Southern Minnesota knew what the hell CrossFit was, except for over in Rochester, and I took on that task solely because I knew I had the system behind me. Like, my wife was always in my corner, and I don't know how many times I've come home just beaten to hell from owning a business, especially this year, and she just like picked me up. And for me, it's straightforward. So both times a few weeks ago, and when it just got closed down again, and the night before we opened, basically my wife looked me in the eyes, and this pretty well, Dana, so you'll appreciate this. She looked me in the eyes. She's like, "You're being a pussy. Knock it off. Go get to work. Okay, let's go do this." For me, that works. For some people, that stuff doesn't work. And it's only certain people that can say stuff like that to me, where I'll be like, "Yep, all right, game on." Dano, if you said that to me, I'd be like, "Yeah, Ben, dude, I don't care what you think."
No, you
what
would
I mean?
tackle
Like,
me again.
it's certain people that are in your network of people that are able to help you push through stuff like that. So I would, my advice would be like, find that circle, man. Find the people that are on the same board as you, and they're going to make sure they're brutally honest. Don't sugarcoat things, because that's when mistakes are made, as far as I'm concerned. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's probably not what you were looking for, but
no, I like it. Brutal honesty is pretty great.
Works better that way.
Yeah. Dano, that wasn't low enough. What do you mean?
Well, come on, man. Like, this especially fitness is a lot of opinion, and I just, we kind of set our standard, and I think from gym to gym, especially CrossFit, it's mostly the same. You just run with it, and when you sugarcoat shit, man, nothing gets done. You don't got to be an ass about it, but let's talk about it. Let's get to the point, and let's fix what's wrong.
Yeah, there was I got to find it. I saw it like 15 minutes before we started talking, and it fits right in with, it said, "You don't hire a coach so they tell you what you want to hear. You hire them so they hold you accountable and create a plan that works for you."
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Without a doubt. Pretty much every person I've had, because we have general managers here, or general manager, and both dudes that have done it, Franny, most of you guys know, Caleb, some of you guys know, both of them guys were like brutally honest with me, and they're like, and that's what I like. Like, let's talk about it, because otherwise you get into this, especially in like a group training facility, you're always going to get into the clicks and the, like, Man, I try my damnedest to make sure that shit doesn't happen, just because it tears communities apart. You know what I mean? So if you want a gym to be successful, I'm afraid, like, Dan, I've been saying this for years. Nobody gives a shit how much you know. They want to know that you care. And if you care and have a little bit of knowledge, you're going to be successful. You know, you got to make sure that you know fitness and
Yeah.
movements, and that, like, you need to know that stuff. I'm not saying you don't need to know that, but I think it's far more important that you actually give a shit about who you're helping, and they'll know, you'll know, the relationship will flourish from there. And if a group of people know that you actually give a shit about them, they'll keep coming back, man. They'll always come back, you know? And I think that is the most important thing.
And you can, if anybody ever visits Kato CrossFit, they'll instantly realize that people there actually do give a shit. It's like,
Yeah, you have to.
like when
If you don't, you're in the wrong business.
Like I showed up and you were sitting there, and then we mopped the gym, and then like all of a sudden Sean came in. He was the first member I met that I didn't see at game day, and all of a sudden, like, every single person that walked through the door came up and introduced themselves, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Ben, this is a lot of people to remember their names. And get some name tags.
Yeah. Get some name tags. Start playing the name game. Learn their names.
I think the cool thing you did, especially when I joined, was you didn't let me coach for like the first 3 days. And I was like, come on, like, you hired me to coach. Let me coach a class. And you're like, nope,
Yeah.
you're going to watch every single class for the next 3 days. And you
weren't doing anything.
Yeah, I didn't have anything to do. And you're like, you were going to watch every single person we have coach a class or two, and then we're going to watch you. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, you were lucky then. Now it's a 6 to 8 week program with different checkpoints throughout the whole process. And so we just hired on 3 new coaches, part-time coaches, I don't know, whenever, a couple months ago. And all of them, all but one, were members, and all of them still went through the same process. Like, they know how class goes, but whether you like it or not, it's different coaching it versus being an athlete and being able to command a room and keep the attention on you, not as an arrogance, but like to make sure people are moving the way they're supposed to be moving, right? And know what the hell is going on. Because otherwise, we all know that a class will run right over you if you don't show leadership up front. And yeah, that's why we do 8 weeks now.
That's good.
And they have to coach a whole bunch with a coach.
Yeah.
So
it was fun. Like when we had all our interns, and you're like, all right, you got to let them do the warm up. I was like, well, this should be fun.
Yeah. I miss my intern hookup. I used to have a whole bunch of them. Now we only have one now.
Vikings cheerleader. That's the only one I remember. Yeah.
Oh, what was her name too? Damn it! Now I feel terrible. I think her name. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
I'll think of it.
Yeah, I don't remember. She's
names,
Vikings cheerleader.
Names is kind of my thing. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. We had a ton when you were here.
Yeah, we had like one every like couple months. Benji.
Yeah, at different segments of the day. Not Coach Ben.
No, it was like Ben. Like I was like, wait, you're an intern? And he's like, yeah. How long have you been interning here? A while. Oh, yeah. I showed up last week. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, took your spot. Sorry, man. He lives 20 minutes away. So
does he?
Yeah, we were supposed to hang out last week, and then he forgot it was his girlfriend's birthday.
Yeah, I can't miss that one.
So
I remember that one.
We're rescheduling. Like, he texted me that morning. He's like, hey, so I feel like an asshole, but it's my girlfriend's birthday, so I have to cancel our plans.
That sounds exactly like him too. That's really funny.
I was like, of course it is, Benji. Go have fun.
That kid, good people, good people. And it's funny, all the people that have come and go, because Mankato is kind of a halfway town. I call it all the time. Like, people come here for school, or they come here to start their career, and then usually most of them go up to the cities or move on to whatever they're going to do next. But it's been a cool ride seeing people like Benji, people that have helped us out, or you, or anybody that's been part of this community or staff. Watch them kind of develop and take some of the stuff that they learned here and use it as they keep going. Kind of makes me feel like a dad. Even, I mean, some of the coaches I just hired, I'm old enough to be their dad, but not you.
No, not me.
So it kind of it makes you feel proud. Like, hey, cool, they're using some of that stuff, and we help navigate through the course of their life, the one portion of it, and it's cool to see.
Yeah, there was definitely so many things that I got to take away from the 2 years I was there to all the gyms that I've been at since, except for the fact that I didn't have a class come close to the class sizes down there. So like I start coaching and be like, well, this is easy. Like, okay.
Yeah, we decided at post-COVID that we're gonna go old school, Dano. We're gonna go from like when you first started the space prior to this one. I never really had a cap, but we always kind of hung out, and I've done them all. We've had a giant gym. I think about a year ago we were sitting at like almost 400 athletes. We had the space to do it, so we could have 2 classes going on at once and all that stuff. Now I've kind of changed my outlook on the whole COVID thing, just because it's so shitty and it made me so angry that I got to look for positives out of the gig. And 2 things that it really helped me with: one, micromanaging. I micromanage the shit out of every staff that ever worked for me because I like to touch everything. And with COVID, a lot of things changed, and I was able to kind of let go a little bit and just let somebody do their job, which I'm sure the staff is pretty thankful for. But more than anything, I've realized that CrossFit isn't, well, it can be, but in my mind, it isn't a giant, like, hey, I'm going to make $1 million owning a CrossFit gym. Have people done it? Yeah. Is Ben Janike going to do it? Probably not. So my mission is to kind of go back old school to the grassroots of what CrossFit was that got everybody excited about it. And, like, hey, the gym's open in the morning, gym's open at the night, it's closed during the day. Kind of go that avenue, and I'm capping it at 200. We're never going over 200 again. So that, because I think, like anything, you get too many people involved, and then all of a sudden community starts crumbling, all that stuff. Through the course of COVID, we've gone from those 400 people down to about 150. So it's a pretty easy reset at this point, like, hey, let's run it up to 200. Let's call it good. We got a cool space for people to work out in and help some people, and just keep it rolling old school style,
Waiting lists and everything.
What's that?
Get a waiting list and everything.
Yeah. When I first opened the gym, I cannot remember his name. He was one of the big dogs in CrossFit, was part of the L1 staff, and he had one of the first CrossFit gyms. And I remember him saying to this day, and that was 10 years ago. He's like, yeah, I have a waiting list for my gym. People are literally waiting to join my gym. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. They are not. Turns out they were. And it took me 10 years to realize it, but hey, maybe we should go back to that, and not have 30 people in class and 2 coaches and just a shit show. Let's make some people better. And it could be, hey, I want to get better at life, or hey, I want to do my first muscle up, or whatever it is, list goes on and on. But really hone in on the people that are here instead of always focusing on, lead generation. The older I get, the more I feel like that's not the way I want to go. I would rather focus on retention, and let's get these people some actual results that are going to stay. Not saying that we didn't touch lives back then, but I think we could have done a better job of it, and I think this is probably a better route to go.
Plus, like, if you have a waiting list, it means you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and people want to be there.
Yeah, it means you're good at what you do.
Like, I want to come to the gym. Well, I'm okay. Keep waiting.
Sorry.
Like, as soon as one person cancels their membership, I'll give you a call.
You're in.
And then you're in.
And I don't even know if it'll work, but we're gonna try it. This is that let's try it situation. Let's see what it takes. If it sucks, and we'll
figure it out.
Start over. We'll figure it out on the way. I think people, yes, I have a big grand scheme plan. I have it written out. I've had it written out forever, and I had steps to get there. And I don't we still have that stuff, but I think we had the most success and the best retention and helped the most people when we were a smaller gym. We took pride in what we did and just slowed the fuck down a little bit. Spending a couple $1,000s a month in Facebook advertisement isn't the best move. I don't know. I'm gonna try this instead for a while. So
yeah, I mean, if you can keep the same, say, 10 people there for 3 years, that's guaranteed people at the gym, guaranteed memberships every single time, not people going like, well, I've been here for 3 months. All right, that was fun. I'm going to leave. It's like, all right, cool. But like, you're going to have to hop on the waiting list now. That's
right.
A long line.
The waiting list. I don't even know if that'll be a thing or not, but just as like for me, it's more like small, more intimate, more results is the way I keep looking at it. And just like more money, more problems, more people, more problems. I think it's easier for me to just kind of chill a little bit.
Yeah, and your coaches will be able to coach better, seeing as there's less people to pay attention to. So like if you have 6 people, that's 10 minutes per person for an hour-long class.
Yeah, right. I think it'll yield a lot better results. Just personal opinion.
I mean, it seemed to work back in the day.
It worked pretty well back in the day.
Like, I remember the first class I coached by myself. Well, you were there, but you were like walking in and out. Your father-in-law was in my class. I didn't know he was Biz's dad. Nobody told me. I was talking to him like I was
for good reason.
Yeah. Nobody told me a thing. I'm just chatting it up, and like I tell him something, and you come over and you're like, you don't have to spend like all the time. Like, he's got it. And I was like, okay. And then like afterwards, you're like, that was Biz's dad. He knows what he's doing. And it's like,
yeah, okay. I think at that point he'd been here for like a year or so.
I was like, I don't know. And then he came out to me. He's like, that was fun. Thanks for talking to me during class.
Yeah, he's good people.
And then yelled at me for beating him in cornhole or bags, whatever you call it.
I call it bags, but I knew what you meant.
All right. What time do you have to leave?
I got about 5 minutes yet.
Cool. What are your goals for the next year?
Ooh, personally or business-wise?
You choose, or both. Like radio and pie.
A personal goal, I'm on a big weight loss kick right now. I have indulged myself far too much during the first COVID. I got the heaviest I've ever been, and I don't know how long. I was strong as hell, but um, I it's time to go back to. I love you know this, Dan. I love mountain biking. So this summer mountain biking was a lot harder than it should be, and I decided that I'm going to get back down to 230, 225 ish. Um, so that's goal number one. Goal number two is just lay out this plan that I've been working on for the gym. And three, there's one other thing COVID taught me, and it's that I was not spending enough time at home with my family. Um, and I've got to do that in the last 10 months or whatever it's been. And so I'm going to make a very, very like top priority. I'm at home when it's time to be home, and shut off the rest of the world. Which I'm sure a bunch of you guys watched the Social Dilemma thing. Have you watched it yet, Dan?
I haven't watched it yet.
You need to watch it. I have eliminated Facebook from my life, which makes it a real pain in the ass keeping track of people. But happiness for me went way up. I like when it all started, I was on my phone trying to post something for the gym. Kids are all trying to get my attention, and I'd been working all day, and I just needed to get this couple things done. I was like, you know what? It's not that important. I put it down, went play with the kids. And then it just started snowballing. Then I watched Social Dilemma, and like I don't even put my cell phone in my, like a lot of people use it for their alarms, whatever. I always use mine for my alarm, charged right next to my bed. It was the first thing I looked at when I woke up. So me and this cell phone are going to separate ways a little bit. 2021 goal. Business wise, I would say it's probably just like I laid out. Like, let's go back. My dad is the smartest dumb guy you'll ever meet. One motto he always taught me as a kid was like, keep it simple, stupid. So my whole wrestling career, my whole training methodology, my everything in life has been keep it simple, stupid, except my business. And I've decided that hey, he's probably right. Maybe we should listen to him. So we're going to do that. 2021 goal is K.I.S.S, man. Keep it simple, stupid. Doesn't have to be fancy. Doesn't have to be big. It just needs to be consistent. And I think that goes to pretty much everything in life. You know what I mean? And yeah, I give out the advice. I guess I do have one other personal one. I give out the advice to all my buddies that get married. And can't remember if I told you this or not. I probably did because I do it to everybody. You never stop dating your wife,
You
right?
did.
Like this is my number.
In the
Did I tell you
truck
this?
ride back from the
Goddamn right I did.
rehearsal.
I do it to everybody. And I am such a believer in that. You know, as the head of the household goes, so is the rest of the house kind of thing. Works in the gym, it works at home. I want to make sure that I always treat my wife like I'm dating her. And we've been married 11 years, and I think I'm doing a decent job at it.
I'll ask Biz tonight.
Yeah, you have to shoot Biz a text, see what she says.
How you doing?
But I don't know. That's one other thing I really want to hone in on this year. You know, a lot of my stuff is just it's family oriented. For those of you guys don't know, I have 4 boys. The oldest one's 10, number 2 is 8, number 3 is 6, and number 4 is 5. So I don't call them by their names. I call them by numbers. Because otherwise I mess up their names all the time. So family is pretty much my main focal point 2021. You only get this time, this era that I'm in right now with these boys to mold them one time. I ain't gonna get to do it again. So teach them how to be men and be respectful and earn what they're given. And like I just told the staff the other day, I sat all my boys down 2 weeks ago, and the oldest one just turned 5. And I was like, listen here, the world doesn't owe you a fucking thing. You want something, you got to go earn it. And I think it kind of took, but we're going to have that conversation again. I guarantee it. but my goal is to make sure that they're good humans, and I will fucking do anything in my power to make sure that happens. You know what I mean? So there, 2021 goals.
There it is. I normally
Yeah.
ask where people can find you, but you shut off social media, so I'll just send them to your
Oh, I'm
website.
still on social media. I still have it. I just don't have it on my phone, which is a big game changer for me. I check it like twice, so 3 times a week on my computer. Don't bother Facebook message me though, because I'm done with that. That's gone. You want to get a hold of me? Shoot me a text. Don't have my number? Talk to Dano. I don't care if you have my cell phone number.
Gonna
I
blast it
can't.
on social media now. This is
Bro,
Ben
there's
Janike's program.
so many. There's Sam that owns Rexius here and K.I.S.S. Athletic Co. He's the guy that whatever platform he's on, he messaged me on. So it's like Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, text message, and we're having conversations on 4 different things. I'm like, dude, just text me, or I'll see you tomorrow at work. You know.
I have the building that you work in. I will be there.
yeah, I will be there. I don't know. I think the world is too wrapped up in cell phones, man. Call me a conspiracy theorist, call me whatever you want, but I'm done, man. I'm going back to flip phone if I can. I don't know if T-Mobile will let me do it or not, but there's too much connection, not enough real life. There, it's my soapbox. I'm getting to be an old man, and it just needs to be face to face. And don't bother calling me. Text me.
Yeah, don't call him. He doesn't answer.
I don't answer my phone.
All right, we'll end it on that.
Cool.